In a distant and mysterious land, surrounded by tall mountains and ancient forests, lived a wise old ninja, known simply as Master Kaizen. He resided in a hidden temple, far from the outside world, where silence was the rule and introspection was the path. One day, a powerful ruler of a great city, full of riches and conquests, decided to visit the master. The leader, known for his wisdom and strength, confessed to the elder that despite all his power and prestige, his mind was constantly restless, tormented by worries and doubts. He felt trapped in an endless cycle of disturbing thoughts, unable to find peace, even amidst all the luxury and comfort of his palace. Master Kaizen, with serene eyes and a gentle voice, listened attentively to the ruler's anxieties. After a moment of reflection, he told the leader that the answer to his restlessness was already within him, but it would take time in silence to discover it. The master then proposed a challenge. The ruler should spend the next 15 days in the temple, living like one of the elder's disciples. During this period, he was to speak as little as possible and dedicate himself only to observation and meditation. The ruler, eager to find inner peace, accepted the challenge, even though he did not fully understand the purpose behind it. In the first days, the ruler found himself struggling against a flood of thoughts and emotions. Sitting in silence, surrounded only by nature and the wind rustling through the trees, he realized how agitated his mind was. He felt the urge to speak, to express his frustrations, but he remembered Master Kaizen's instructions and remained silent. The nights seemed endless, and the weight of his worries seemed to grow. However, as the days passed, something within him began to change. He started noticing small details around him, the birds singing at dawn, the movement of the leaves in the wind, and the sense of serenity that began to take hold of his being. On the 10th day, the ruler experienced something he had never felt before. He entered a state of deep meditation, where his mind completely calmed down. His thoughts, once chaotic and incessant, began to dissipate like fog under the sun. Sitting in total tranquility, he connected with something deeper within himself, a peace that did not depend on anything external. It was at that moment that he began to understand the true power of silence. Each breath seemed to bring new clarity, and he realized that silence was not just the absence of sound, but a powerful tool for finding answers beyond words. In the last days of his stay, the ruler became a new man. He began to appreciate the simple things in life, things that had previously gone unnoticed amidst the tumult of his restless mind. He understood that silence allowed him to see the world with new eyes, as if he were awakening from a long dream. Master Kaizen watched from afar, knowing that the transformation was happening within the ruler. On the morning of the 15th day, the leader sought out the master, eager to share his experience. When the two met, the ruler spoke with a calmness and clarity he had never experienced before. He said he had finally understood why his mind had been so troubled. The ruler revealed to Master Kaizen that he had been talking too much, spending precious energy on words that were often empty or filled with negativity. He realized that this constant need to talk was a way of avoiding his own thoughts and fears. In silence, he had found the courage to face those fears, and in doing so, he discovered a peace he had never known. The master, with a slight smile, said that silence is not just the absence of words, but the presence of something deeper, the connection with our inner self, where true wisdom resides. "This is our story," said the old ninja, highlighting the importance of learning from silence, something that we can all take into our lives. Master Kaizen then told the ruler about a young apprentice who had also struggled with the restlessness of his mind. The young man, like the leader, believed that the answer to his problems lay in the external world. But through silence, he learned to dive within himself, where he found a strength he had never imagined possessing. The master explained that silence is the first step to self-knowledge and that, without it, we can never truly understand who we are. The ruler, now understanding the depth of the master's words, realized that his true power did not come from his external achievements, but from the peace he had found within himself. In the days following his departure from the temple, the ruler carried the lessons he had learned with him. He began to apply silence in his daily life, avoiding useless conversations and focusing on listening more than speaking. He discovered that by speaking less, his words became more meaningful, and those around him began to pay more attention to what he said. The decisions he made were more thoughtful, and his actions began to reflect the inner peace he had achieved. The transformation was noticed by everyone in his kingdom, and he became an even wiser and more respected leader. Master Kaizen knew that the power of silence was not just for leaders or sages, but for everyone seeking a fuller and more meaningful life. He continued to teach his disciples, showing them that true strength does not lie in winning external battles, but in conquering one's own mind. For the Master, silence was like a mirror that reflected the inner truth of each person. He believed that by embracing silence, anyone could discover the clarity needed to navigate life's storms. And so, he continued to guide those who sought his counsel, always reminding them that the answer was within each of them, waiting to be discovered. And to you who watch and listen to us, know that you are also part of this journey. Join us in the next lesson, and together, we will continue to walk the path of wisdom. As we bring this story into our daily lives, remember that silence is a gift we give ourselves to hear the inner voice we often ignore. In a world full of noise and distractions, finding time for silence can be the path to the peace and happiness we all seek. May we all learn to value these moments of stillness and find in them the strength to face the challenges life presents to us.